It is time for Property Explained, and today we're looking at fractional ownership. Rupert Finnemore joins us from Easy Properties to chat to us about this. The reality is that some people do feel that property has got high entry barriers, and it's just difficult to attain. So what does fractional ownership do in this regard? Rupert, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me in studio.
It's an absolute pleasure. Let's dive right into it. What is fractional ownership?
Fractional ownership is just pretty much as the name suggests. You know, you get an expensive asset, you break it up into little pieces, and you get an opportunity to own a fraction of that asset.
Okay, so let's say a house. Give me an example of fractional ownership there.
Okay, I'll do one better. There's a great new development in Soweto called Orlando Towers.
Yep.
Nice.
What we've done is we've taken 13 of those units, put it into an investment vehicle, and generally people won't be able to invest in those kind of opportunities. You know, property can be very expensive.
Yep.
There are a lot of barriers to entry. So what we'll do is we'll package those 13 units into one investment opportunity. And guys have an opportunity to invest any amount that they can. There's no minimums at Easy Properties. And you buy a small share of that particular investment, and we run it on your behalf. So it's just a small share in a big investment.
I get you.
Rupert, I don't know why in my head when I heard that we're having this discussion, I assumed I've got a 5-bedroom home and maybe there's also a back room that I have, and maybe I can fractionally give away my back room and a room inside my home, and you can own it as well and invest in a room or a back room, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that.
I'm not sure either.
But on a serious note, how do investors make money on fractional ownership of a property?
So that's a very good question. So essentially, we as a collective would own this investment together.
Yeah.
Easy Properties then manages the investment. We collect rental from all the people that are renting out our units. And then we pay your share based on how much money you invested of your rental income back to you. So you make investments in two ways, or returns in two ways. You get your share of rental income, and then over the period, one of the best things about investing in property is the capital growth. And so over the period of 5 years or whatever the story might be, your property increases in value, and you make money in that way as well. So capital growth and your share of rental income.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an interesting vehicle, no doubt. Let's talk about these other friction points that prevent people from being able to invest in property. I mean, what are they?
Yeah, the first one is obviously access to capital. Property has this perception of being really expensive, and you need a lot of money to be able to invest in property.
Sure.
Access to debt. Most of us would require a bond to be able to invest in property. Not everyone can qualify for a bond. Not having access to really great investment opportunities is one. The headache of actually, once you manage to get some money together and you get a bond, you get a unit, actually managing that unit yourself. Now, everyone's got day jobs.
Yeah.
Looking after tenants, guys who are not paying, your property being vacant, things like that. All of these are generally friction points. The other big one is obviously the illiquidity of property.
Yeah.
And again, it takes a long time to sell a house. It can be very expensive. And so, those are a number of the friction points, which I think our company has solved. And so, you don't have any of these issues when it comes to investing in fractional ownership in this way.
So how easy is it then to sell off fractional ownership of property?
So once a quarter, we have auctions and it's not a traditional auction where you see some dude with a gavel who's about to hit a table and you're selling bits and pieces. This is like a digital auction. It works the same way as it does on the JSE. But, we understand that people need access to their money. And so if suddenly you need cash for school fees or whatever the story might be, you can put your shares that you had purchased into this auction. And then there's a clever algorithm that works out what the kind of auction price would be. But you are able to sell your shares during your investment period to other people in our investor community.
Sure, this is next level. Wow.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and I think on that point, Kutz, I do want to ask, with everything you have said today, Rupert, why should anybody follow this route as far as property investment?
Well, I think because it deals with all of those friction points, I think property is still a cornerstone of wealth creation. There's obviously a huge psychological and political attachment to property ownership in this country. And this is a really great way to kind of get your foot onto the property ladder, get access to really brilliant property investments, and start generating returns and wealth for yourself.
Absolutely. Rupert, if anybody wants to pick your brain further on these matters, how do we find you?
Well, I think the first place is to start at easyproperties.co.za, and then check us out on socials. We're part of the massive Fin Twitter community, and check us out there.
Done deal. Rupert Finnemore of Easy Properties chatting to us about the idea of fractional ownership. So explore it more and see. Maybe this might be a great option for you if you're not diving into it already. It's 5 to 8. Wake up on Metro FM.